Hello again and welcome. Thanks for all the feedback that you guys gave me that have looked at the video so far. One of them was, look, the green Koki doesn't work on the whiteboard, or my white shirt against the whiteboard is quite reflective. It doesn't work. Thanks a lot for all the constructive criticism. It really helps me improve my videos. Someone mentioned that I should do a little bit more talking instead of standing in front of the whiteboard and explaining the whole time. I know that some of the figures in some of my videos have been quite small. One couldn't read them properly, so I'm going to try and improve on that. I've tried something different now. I'm having a casual chat, but we're gonna get to the topic now. Thanks so much for those who supported my videos up until now and those who subscribed to my channel. I really appreciate it. So the topic we're gonna do today is the story of the twins. Now this is something that captured me many years ago, probably about 10 years ago. I looked at an article in a newspaper, and it was about two people that decide to invest at different periods of their lives. So the one person started investing at age 18 and the second person at age 28. And when I looked at the article, I couldn't believe it. It didn't make sense, because the first person invested for 10 years from age 18 to 28, and the second person invested from age 28 till 65, which is 37 years. Now the first person stopped investing at age 28, so that's 10 years, and just left the money there to grow. I thought the editor made a massive mistake. I took the article and I actually did some of my own calculations. I couldn't believe it. It was actually accurate. So since that day, I call it the story of the twins. So I'm going to explain these figures now without writing anything down, and I hope you can make sense of it. And if you don't, please let me know in the comments if you didn't understand what I meant, and I will gladly put up a whiteboard version of this video as well. So Sarah and John both start working. They've got the opportunity to invest some money. They let's assume they're studying and they're doing some part-time work to have some money to put away. And Sarah and John have a discussion. John says, you know what, I'm going to enjoy my life. I'm going to party it out. I'm going to travel as much as I can, buy myself some nice stuff, and really enjoy my life. And when I'm done, or later in life, I'll change my ways. And Sarah is the more responsible person in this regard. Well, let's call it financially responsible. So Sarah actually says, no, I'm going to start early. I'm going to start investing early. I've heard this before from people like Warren Buffett, and compound interest and all of these big words that you usually find in the financial when you read about financial stuff. So Sarah invests 1,000 Rand a month, and she starts, there's no increase on the investment, so 1,000 Rand a month every month, and it doesn't increase on a yearly basis. In the meantime, they finish their studies. Sarah starts her first job. John carries on. He doesn't save any money. They both turn 28 years old, and Sarah stops investing at that stage, and she's got 201,458 Rand. So the assumption I used here is 10% return or growth per annum, and Sarah built up to 201,458 after investing for 10 years, 1,000 Rand a month. John at that stage realizes that he needs to start investing, and he actually starts with his 1,000 Rand a month. So you can imagine the conversations going on between them. They're very close, they're twins, they come from the same upbringing, out of the same household. So now John starts his investing, 1,000 Rand a month for 37 years. Let's fast forward 37 years. So they both turn age 65. They're both at a stage where they feel like they can retire, and maybe they've built up some other assets or investments over the years, and had children, and maybe they're grandparents by now. So let's see how much they each have now. I'm just going to look to the side here to get the actual figures again. So John has 4,171,876, and Sarah, how much do you guess she has? Less than 4 million, more than 4 million. Remember, she only had 201,458 at age 28, and John had 0. However, John saved for 37 years, and Sarah didn't save for the last 37 years. So Sarah's figure is actually more than John's, and not by a margin, quite a lot. Sarah's figure is 6,850,367. So I'm just going to round off those figures for both of them so it's easier to comprehend. So John has got 4.2 million rand and Sarah has 6.8 million rand. That's quite a big difference. It's a 2.6 million difference between the two of them. That's the power of compound interest or compound growth that we hear all this time. This is something that's a cliche when it comes to finances. However, it's very powerful, and Einstein even called it the eighth wonder of the world. Now, I think a lot of you might ask now, what if Sarah actually continued saving? What if she continued after age 28 and saved until age 65? So in other words, she would have saved for 47 years. I mean, she already has 2.6 million more and she only invested for 10 years. So she would have actually ended up with 11,022,230. That is almost 3 times as much as John's fund value or capital amount at the end of the period at age 65. Can you imagine 4.2 million versus 11 million just by sacrificing a little bit earlier in life, a little bit of money every month? It's crazy, isn't it? And I think it's important to note that this calculation works with any amount. If you're going to use 10,000 Rand a month or 20,000 Rand a month or even much lower, 10 Rand a month or 100 Rand a month, the equation gives the same outcome. Anyway, I think you get the crux of the matter. If you like this video, please click on the like button below.